Before we get into our math lesson, I want you to think about this picture. What do you see going on in this picture? I'll pause for a second or two while you're thinking about that. Short kid in the front row. What do you think's going on here? Yes, exactly. These people are spies. Now we're going to connect a spy to some math things. But before we do that, let's think about some stuff that spies do. Usually they go to other countries and their job is to collect information. Often they have to collect this information in secret. So they follow people around, they tap phones, they try to get a hold of emails, sometimes they're taking documents. They have to be very careful though, because there are severe penalties if they get caught. So one way that spies keep themselves safe is to use the art of disguise. And in today's lessons, we're going to think about that concept of spies and how they use disguise. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go again. Starting with our analogy that a spy is to a disguise as a decimal is to a fraction. So a spy can hide itself using makeup and hats and wigs, just like a decimal can hide itself as a fraction. So let me show you how to change some decimals into fractions. Let's start with this first one. I just want to say this decimal out loud to myself. So I have the ones placed here, the and, the tenths, and the hundredths. So to say this correctly, I say 0 and 75 hundredths. Now let's turn it into a fraction. So we said 75 hundredths. So we put 75 over 100. And then my 1 disappeared there, so I'll put it back in there. Now I need to simplify this. Think of quarters and dollars. Alright, how many quarters make 75 cents? That's 3. How many quarters make $1? That's 4. So this 0 and 75 hundredths as a fraction is 3/4. Now let's turn this decimal into a fraction. We say 9 tenths. So I want to write that as 9 tenths. I can't simplify that any, so I am done. Here we go with our final decimal. It says 0 and 125 thousandths. So my first job is to write that as a fraction, 125 over 1,000. Alright, now I need to do some division. I can simplify this because I know my divisibility rule for 5, which says any number that ends in 5 or any number that ends in 0 can be divided by 5. So I'm going to split 125 into 125. 100 divided by 5 is 20. 25 divided by 5 is 5. So add 20 and 5 to get 25. Okay, then think of 10 divided by 5 is 2. So 1,000 divided by 5 is 200. Now you can split 200 into 100 and 100. 25 will go into 100 4 times. So it will go into 200 8 times. 25 divided by 25 is 1. So 100, 0 and 125 thousandths is 1/8. Just remember your analogy. A spy is to a disguise as a decimal is to a fraction.